Wow, folks. I know y'all have got to be as shocked as I am over that. I cannot believe what just happened. I'll pull it up, and I know y'all saw this. There's no way that just happened. I couldn't be more shocked. Let's see what everybody's saying here. It's crazy. Nico ran all over Penn State. I thought they would absolutely drag him all over the field. And yeah, it is not happy in Happy Valley. That really hurts their playoff chances terribly. I mean, that is horrible. They're 3-2, and they just got beat by an 0-4 team that was probably ranked 80th or 90th. I mean, that crushes them. This is like the Northern Illinois loss. But, of course, Notre Dame didn't have any more losses after that. Yeah. Nico ran for 3 and I think threw for 2. He ran all over them. He didn't throw for a ton of yards, but he ran for a ton of yards. Wow. I'm in complete shock over that. Yeah, I tell you, the quarterback for Penn State, Drew Aller, he looks like a statue. He looks like he's in slow motion or something. They should have kept that Bo Pubula guy that's playing for Missouri. He's way more dynamic, way more. And then DJ shows up and throws for like 300 yards. Let's start. I'm going to pull up the this first game here. No, this one. Yeah, let's see here what Nico did. 17 for 24, 166 yards, 2 TDs. That part's, a little above average, but about average. But here's the key. 16 carries for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. That is just monstrous. Drew Aller, 199 yards against UCLA's defense, which is tragic. That's not a lot of yards. And he ran a little bit, but he looked like, I don't know, very slow. And Nico, I got to give Nico some credit. Matter of fact, let's just call it what it is right here.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Hey, I gotta give credit where it's due. Nico played well enough to win that ball game. They almost creaked it there at the end, but Penn State, they just couldn't get out of their own way at the tail end of that. I thought for sure it was going to overtime, and then it was anybody's ball game. But Penn State, I don't know. I don't see how they make the playoff at this point. They've already got 2 losses. They got to get through the rest of their that loss is monstrous. That's almost like 2 losses, because when the playoff committee takes into strength of schedule, which they're supposed to do, that's a monster hit, unless UCLA starts playing really well, which you never know. You never know. Let's see. I'm going to pull up. Let's take a little look-see at the Florida game real quick too, because what got me about that one was how well – oh, crap, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. I'll get it right here in a second. I'll get it right. There we go. Yeah, 29-21, and the important part, look here at DJ Lagway. 298 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's hurt too. If you noticed, he cannot run. DJ cannot run. But he threw for almost 300. He looked a lot better today. He looked like a deer in headlights the last 2 games. But he looked really comfortable tonight and played well, threw for 75% completion rate, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Arch, I got a problem with Arch. I don't think he sees the field very well. I mean, that's like 50%, 16 for 29, just over it. And those 2, and it's just, I don't know about Arch. He's not looked very good. Now they're in trouble big time in the playoff. Now they've got 2 losses, and they just lost to a 1-3 team who's now 2-3. Those are monstrous. And Billy Napier, the Billy Napier train, They're going to have to stop that train because the fire Billy Napier train. Billy's redeemed. Let me tell you who's happier than anybody right now. Ole Miss fans. They cheered that victory on like you cannot believe. They're happier. I promise you, Ole Miss fans are happier than Florida fans right now over that win. Because a lot of Florida fans are like, oh, no, he's going to be here another year maybe. Oh, no. And Ole Miss is over there. Yeah, they're not going to come get our coach. Yeah, Napier's back.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
That's a huge win for Florida. I'm telling you, they're tough at the Swamp. They look tough. Their defense played well. Their offense played as good. They ran the ball really well, I thought. Let's take a look. I forgot how many yards they ran for. It was a lot. Let's see. Jaden Ball ran for 100. He was tough. That Dallas Wilson was great. 2 touchdowns. He played really well. Arch, I am not sold on Arch Manning. Just not at all. Jeez. But they're in huge trouble now. You've got 2 teams that I had penciled in. I had Texas and Penn State in the playoff. Almost guaranteed, I thought. And now they're both in huge trouble. They're one loss away. If they lose any more ball games the rest of the year, Texas or Penn State, they're 100% out. You will not get in with 3 losses, and you've got losses to Florida and UCLA. You're not getting in. So they're on the outs right now. Uncle Lou is going to have a field day with them. It's going to be awful when he does his Sunday show. So I'm shocked. How shocked are you? Let me go in here and look at the comment section. Y'all have got to just be just can't believe it. Yeah, they may already be out, Penn State, but realize they still got to play. Who else they already got beat by Oregon, which that's not a bad loss. They got to play Ohio State, don't they? And they got quite a few games left. So let's take a look, see at that. Let me pull that up real quick. Penn State schedule 2025. Let's pull that bad boy up. Here we go. All right. I'll add that right in here. We'll take a little look, see what they've got. Let me get rid of that one and add the schedule. Let y'all see exactly what they got left. All right. So they had beaten Nevada. Let me make that a little bit bigger for y'all. They had beaten Nevada, FIU, and Villanova, which is nothing. They had beaten nobody. They've now lost it to Oregon and UCLA. Now they got Northwestern, which they'll be. Well, who knows? Northwestern beat UCLA, but I think they'll be fine. Then they got to go to Iowa. Then they got to go to Ohio State. Indiana could beat them. Both of these are probably losses. And Nebraska could get them. And Michigan State, you never know. So my suggestion is that Penn State's probably done. They're out of the playoff. Texas, let's take a look, see what Texas has. All right. Let me go into this one here, and we'll pull it up. Let's see. Texas football. I'm sure theirs is way worse. Texas has probably got a ton of brutal games left. Let's see here. They've already lost to Ohio State, of course. All right, I'm going to pull that up for you here in just 1 second. Now I've got it all set and ready. And here's Texas's schedule. Okay, they already lost to Ohio State. We know that. Then they beat San Jose State or whatever, UTEP, and Sam Houston. That's their 3 wins right there. The Little Sisters of the Poor Conference. Now the 2 teams they've played, Florida and Ohio State, they've lost. They got to play Oklahoma, who's number 5. They should be able to beat Kentucky, I would think. Mississippi State is no guarantee. Vanderbilt is no guarantee. Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M. No, they're done. Texas is done, folks. You heard it here first. They're toast. So you've got – I don't see Arch. I mean, what do y'all think? You think Arch is all that in a bag of chips? Or is he none of that? Yeah, holy upsets. A little Batman reference, a little Robin. Wow. Yeah, I agree. Arch is definitely not all that. I don't think it's his offensive line. I just don't think he sees the field. The announcers kept saying, he's got open guys down the middle. Why won't he throw it? He keeps wanting to run, I think. I think he either doesn't see it or maybe he's panicking a little bit. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I'd say he's going to want $4 million. They're 1-4 now. Let's see. Maybe they'll win a few games this year, and he can get $1 million for each game. Yeah, he needs a raise. Let's see. Yeah, Manning's. I'm not feeling good about Manning at all. Another year, yeah. I don't know how Penn State could have possibly lost this game. I really don't. It seems incredible to me. I got to give that Neuheisel, that offensive coordinator, credit. They were showing him a lot. He looked like he kind of had a clue out there. And, there was some people there. Now, a lot of them were probably Penn State fans, but UCLA showed up a little bit for that game. They had maybe 40,000 people there, that's good for them. They filled up one side pretty good. We play Arkansas next, Justin. We got the Razorbacks at home. And they've got a new coach in Bobby Petrino, the motorcycle guy. And let's see. Yeah, here's the thing. Whenever you get a new coach, you never know. See, that's what they brought in a new offensive coordinator for UCLA, and boom, all of a sudden they looked pretty good. I would say, Silver Sergeant, that, yeah, I am a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried about Bobby Petrino because anytime you have a big change, sometimes that inspires the team and they come out and they play harder. I've seen that happen. So, yeah, a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not because that wouldn't be true. I mean, look, and it's an SEC club. It's not like they don't have talent. They got plenty of talent there. I can't believe they couldn't figure out how to stop Nico today. I mean, it was clear he was going to run the entire second half, and why didn't they put a spy on him? That was weird. I would have thought Penn State's defensive coordinator would be good. That's the defensive coordinator they got from Ohio State. Ohio State, y'all ought to feel pretty good about losing that defensive coordinator after watching that crap. I mean, my God. Thank you, Silver. Yeah, the Ohio State fans ought to be thrilled. Connor Stay. Well, I don't think they needed him today. Didn't Michigan beat they beat Wisconsin. I don't know if they covered the spread, though. But yeah, FSU tonight, they've got a pretty good game against, Miami. Penn State had some injuries. Gosh. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have that many injuries. They still had their quarterback. They still had a lot of guys. So, yeah, there's no excuse for getting beat by UCLA. Yeah, Georgia Tech's good. Somebody was talking about Georgia. Georgia Tech's a good team. We got to play them because we replaced Nebraska with them. Georgia Tech stood up. They stepped up. Penn State's done. I think Penn State's done, and Texas. Do you think they're going to go undefeated? They have to go undefeated, both teams, and they've got some big games in front of them. I just don't see it. I think both. That's going to help all the teams out there, like a Missouri, a Tennessee, so many teams that have a chance to get in the playoff this year. And having two teams kind of knocked out like that I thought were almost guaranteed to get in is monstrous. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know who can Texas beat. They haven't beaten anybody of substance all year. Who is Texas beaten? Matter of fact, let's pull that up. Again, here's Texas football schedule. All right. Let me show you who they've beaten so there's no misunderstanding. They've beaten the San Jose State Spartans, the UTEP Miners, and the Sam Houston Bearcats, spelled with a K. Not to be confused with the one spelled with a C, I guess. They got beat by Ohio State and Florida. That's their 3 wins right there. Am I supposed to be impressed by that? So I'm just not seeing it. I would probably bench him. I would probably bench Arch right now because he's not seeing the field. When a quarterback's not seeing the field, it's time to take a step back and see what you're missing. You know, sometimes you need that. I'm sure that, look, they've got plenty of quarterbacks over there that are big time, that were 4 stars and, you know, probably close to being 5 stars, and maybe 1 or 2 that have been over there a while. I would bench him. I don't care if you are paying him $6 million. I would set him for a little bit, at least a game, and see if you've got somebody out there that can get this offense going for Texas, because they're pitiful. They scored 7 points against Ohio State, and I guess they scored 21 against Florida. They scored that 3rd one, and that's it. So they scored 28 points in 2 games, an average of 14 points against quality opponents. That's terrible. It's 2025. It's not 1972 when 14 points a game was not that bad. Mississippi State, they might. Let's see. Yeah, Clemson beat the crap out of somebody today. Who was it they were? Well, oh, God. Bill Belichick. There's another cluster F. He has turned out to be not a good hire over there. I mean, you brought in a guy that's, how old is he? Like 76 or something? And you had to deal with his girlfriend, Jordan. She's a mess. So, let's see. Yeah, we're off this week. I don't mind being off a week. It gives us – we need to get our guys healed up. We need McCoy out there, Jamad McCoy. We really need him. And we could use some of our defensive linemen. We've got 4 starters out, which is just on defense. That's too many. You know, last year we were really lucky. We only had 1 significant injury on defense, and that was huge. Now we've got both our cornerbacks. Our starting cornerbacks are out, and 2 of our starting defensive tackles. That's terrible. So hopefully this off week will get us healthy. Let's take a look-see at the rest of the games here and see how they've gone. Let me pull them up. So I haven't really taken a good hard look at them. Let's see. College games. Here we go. Yeah, Michigan beat Wisconsin. I can't remember if they covered the spread on that one. Virginia barely got by, they finished off Louisville barely. Ooh, that's close. Let's see. Georgia just whooped up on poor old Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky, you're just awful. You're just awful. Let's see. I tell you, Vandy had a chance to win this game. They really did. They scared them. Notre Dame whooped up on Boise. We know about UCLA, Penn State. Oklahoma whooped up on Kent State. Whoopity-doo. We got to play them this year. Let's see. Mississippi State's playing Texas A&M. It's tied at 0-0. And here's an interesting game. This FSU game is very interesting. Minnesota's got a little small lead on Ohio State. I don't know how long that'll last. Let's see. What else did we got to look at here? And then last night, what was it? BYU beat West Virginia. I don't know if they covered the spread either. I don't think they did. But anyway, I needed to come out here and talk about this a little bit because I'm blown away by this victory by UCLA. I would have never in a million years thought they could pull this off. I thought their season was history. Now, I mean, they might win 3 or 4 ball games. With this new offensive coordinator, you never know. They got a new coach, new defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. So they've totally cleaned house. That's pretty rare 4 games in, but that's what they did. Worked out for them. Yeah, big shocker. All right, folks, just wanted to pop in here and talk a little bit about this and UCLA and that just
Roadhouse.
Yeah, UCLA, it was Roadhouse. And Penn State.
Just walk away.
Yeah, you need to walk away, Penn State. Just walk away. All right, folks. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay. Thanks for jumping in here for a few minutes. I had to talk about this.